Bayer has committed to ambitious sustainability objectives in line with the United Nations ones. We aim to become carbon neutral in our operations by 2030 while driving sustainable agriculture. And I'm talking today with Remi Dei-Tos, our site lead in the seed production facility in Sinești, Ialomița.
Hello, Anna.
Hi, Remi. So tell me please, what do you do in Sinești?
Oh, big question.
I know.
So Sinești is one of the biggest sites in Europe, Middle East, Africa about seed production, corn seed production. We are producing around 20% of the total production for Bayer, and we are exporting the seeds toward 21 countries across the region. And to produce this, in fact, we have two teams. One team that is dedicated to the field production, so we are producing the seeds in the field first, and second, we are transporting these seeds on site, and on site we are processing them. We are drying them, cleaning, protecting them, and putting them in bag to make the packaging. So in a nutshell, that's what we are doing here.
So Remi, since we are now in October, this means that the harvesting has ended already, right? So you are now in full production activity. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how many bags do you put on the market each year?
So it depends from one year to the other, but we are around 1.3 million and 1.5 million that we are releasing on the market, not only for Romania, but also for a lot of countries in Europe, Middle East, and even Africa. So we are exporting to 21 different countries.
Let's go back a bit to sustainability. Mm-hmm. What does sustainability mean in seed production? How are things different from what they used to be, let's say, 5 years ago?
Where we are impacting in terms of sustainability? I will first answer to this question. As I said, we have two main activities. We have the field part, mm-hmm, and we have the plant processing part. And in both, we are committed and we are deploying some initiatives in order to really support our commitment in terms of sustainability. For example, in the field, we are really working on reaching the same yield with less inputs. It means using less fertilizer, less water, and how we are managing it. Due to the new technologies, we are really able to scan exactly the need of the plants, and we are applying exactly the need of the plants. So we have no losses. Like in the past, unfortunately, in all the agriculture, everybody was applying, all the farmers, all the industry was applying a normal quantity everywhere. But it means that sometimes we are applying even a bit too much and you could lose. Now we try to be exactly with the right quantity to not lose any resources.
How many hectares do you cultivate for seed production? How many hectares of corn?
So we have close to 10,000 hectares of corn, yeah. And
you do this in farms all over Romania or in?
Yeah, so the network is quite well spread. We have mainly in this region, around the plant and in the southeast. This is where we are producing the majority, but we have our network spread all over the Romania. Here also we have some initiatives. For me, the first one starts with having the commitment of the people, and I'm not talking about technical things first. So we have sustainability champion and sustainability agent with energy agent that are there to propose ideas, to track what we are doing, to monitor if we are at the right time and right space in order to deploy our sustainability. So we have people committed to support sustainability. This is an organization at site level, but it is also deployed across all Bayer organization. Not only in Romania, not even only in Europe, Middle East, Africa, but globally. So this is the first point for me that is very important. And after, we have different initiatives, but much more technical about, for example, you can see the lights, we changed everything in LED. We installed solar panels. We changed in our cold warehouse, we have cold units. Yes. We changed the refrigerant in order to be more efficient. Normally it should be done until 2030. Yes. We already did it. So we have different initiatives in order to reduce our consumption, reduce our losses, and really improve our greenhouse gas emission, and as well our consumption in terms of electricity. So we have different initiatives. also here.
What was the perception of the colleagues here with respect to all these changes and all these trend to make the equipment and the operations more efficient?
The Bayer employees overall, very nice perception because, as I said, we deployed this network of champions and it was not forced. People,
Okay.
they were presented themselves. Last week, one of our automation, he came to us, he said, I have an idea. We can change the sequence of stopping and starting our equipment. We will save a lot of electricity, at least 5% of consumption. And it's not us that was forcing him, but he really came to us. So it means that the commitment is there and we are really happy about that.
That's fantastic.
So this is, yeah, it is really, I was super happy to see that. And for the farmers part, you need to know that we are on a context of energy crisis and exposure to water availability, access, and so on. So this year we had a very big drought. Romania got a drought. Hungary got a drought. France got a drought. Austria as well. So it means that the water is a resource that we need to use really perfectly in order to be sure that we are not wasting it and we can continue our production. This year really stressed it out. And what happened is that the farmers, for example, they saw this year that the one that were going for some better efficient system, drip irrigation, were having a higher yield because they were using the water exactly when it was needed, when the plant was needing it.
Yes.
And at the end, they were having a higher yield. So for the farmers, it's higher remuneration. So what we see is that you have the sustainability that somehow is correlated and going in the same direction with the energy and the water availability problem. So for them, they see a lot of benefits. They use less fertilizer, they use exactly the water that is needed, and at the end their yield is getting higher and their profit as well. So very good perception. And again, 2 weeks ago, our field country lead came to me and said, "Oof, I have 5 growers that want to invest in drip irrigation. Can we support them? We have the knowledge, we have the technology, can we go into this direction?" And we haven't forced. They came to us. So also it's something very nice.
So this is something that you also do. You support the farmers who are open to innovation.
Yeah.
With the technical knowledge and
Yeah.
on site.
And also the equipment sometimes.
The equipment, okay.
Yeah.
And how many hectares do you work with drip irrigation out
So,
of the 10,000?
This year we started. It's really the first year. In total, we have 500 hectares under drip irrigation. We will see next year, but definitely the requests are increasing. We are hoping to reach 1,500 hectares. That could be one of the opportunity for next year. Not yet confirmed, but at least we have the request for sure. So we are on the right track.
When we think about the operations on the field, you mentioned a lot of actions that make you work much more efficiently than before. Do you have any tools that support you in knowing where exactly to apply, when, and how much?
Indeed, we have tools, not only for us in seed production, but also we are helping the farmers after with the commercial seeds. So we are using climate field view, and this is helping us to understand how a field is in terms of growing potential. So we make a mapping of this field, and because the field is heterogeneous, we see where you got high potential for growing corn, where is a bit lower potential. And based on this map, then we will plant corn. When we have high potential, we put high density, lower potential, lower density, and the same for the fertilizer. We adapt. And like this, it's helping us to really extract the highest potential from a field by having this knowledge. So we are using this, and we are even going in the future to adapted irrigation exactly to square meter by square meter, how to apply to the plants the right quantity of water. So that's the general concept. Yes, we are doing this. We are using this tool.
Can you tell me something about transportation? Is it more sustainable?
Just by discussing with our supplier, he understood that we are committed regarding going more sustainable, and he is playing the same game of being more sustainable. And we are really happy because he told me that now he's investing of having minivans that will be partially electric, plug-in electric, and then step by step he wants to renew all his fleet to go to electrical cars more and more.
He can charge them in the yard here. I saw
indeed.
the charging stations.
Yeah, we are the charging station. So initially it's for my car because I will have a plug-in car that will arrive very soon. I'm really happy to have changed for this car, and that's why we installed the electrical plug-in station there. Yep.
And I know that in general the overall buyer policy of transportation is moving towards a hybrid or electricals.
Yeah, indeed.
So hopefully more and more will follow you.
Should be. Yep, indeed.
And finally, the question that I asked everybody: what does sustainability mean for you personally?
Something sustainable, it's something that can continue in time, you know. And we were using it before having the concept of sustainability, environmental sustainability. And for me, it's exactly this. It means that if we want to continue making our activity moving, producing, moving from one spot to the other, if we want to continue to do it, we need still to consume resources. So we can do it with cleaner resources, and we can do it on a smarter way to have less resources consumed, and we can work as well on how we can regenerate these resources. So for me, it's all this cycle. What is sustainability is this: being smarter in how we are consuming, being sure that we are consuming cleaner energies, and also being sure that somehow we are trying to cycle back and to be flat after having performed our activity. So I would say this is in a nutshell how I'm seeing the sustainability.
Thank you very much, Remi.
You're welcome.